As we see, spawning in the top left of Hard LE, Hard Lead LE. I don't know which one this is. The orange Zerg, which looks sick. KingWut. And in the bottom right, we have the blue Protoss of Samco. Dark Horse, once again. Nobody, I think, has seen Sam play. It does look like he knows what he's doing based on the gateway timings, though. I'm very excited to see what we have in store for game number 1 in this series. Sam has definitely been watching some build order stuff. He's got his probe ready for a 16 Nexus. Braden also has his 17 hatch down. 17 spawning pool. 16 extractor. These players, to their credit, have done their homework. They know the builds. They know the strats. Well, I don't know if they know the strats, but if they know the builds, then they've probably at least put some thought into a strategy, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Pretty standard openings from both players. Pretty safe. Just establishing stuff, getting ready for that next phase of the game. Queen coming out for the Zerg with just enough money for another queen at the bottom as soon as this hatchery pops. The probe was able to see that nothing too crazy is going on. I'm loving that we're seeing some Zerg in here. I think personally, I really like the Zerg versus Protoss matchup. I think it's very interesting. I love playing it from both angles, and very curious to see what kind of stuff we're gonna see coming out of KingWut. He's got his standard 4 Zerglings, up to 6 Zerglings now. Oh no, 8. We might be here for some early aggression, because it doesn't look like this was built for any defensive reason. It does seem as though he's going to start pushing out on the map, seizing some map control, making sure that nothing too crazy is going on. Sent his Zerglings to make sure that all of the potential attack paths were accounted for, but he is going to run into 4 Zealots, and 4 Zealots handily is going to be able to defend against 8 Zerglings. So both players are going to pull back and wait to fight another day. Twilight Council is going down for the blue player as the second base is up and running. What do we see? Metabolic boost is finished. Those are fast Zerglings now for the Zerg player, and continuous Zergling production. Does look like a round of drones, but more than enough to fend off against early Zealot aggression from those defenders. But no third base down for our Zerg player just yet. We do see Evolution Chamber going down, Roach Warren. It looks like we're gearing up for that mid-game where the Roach and Ravager composition is generally a good bet against these gateway heavy armies. You've just got so much survivability, plus those Ravagers are able to really lock down large groups of small units. As well as this amazing Zergling is like the greatest unit in the game. They're just so fast, so versatile, and when you get to numbers like this, you can just really surround and take care of a lot of stray groups. You cause your opponent to really have to group up and move slowly and carefully across the map. And I love putting Zerglings in a location like this where they're prime for runarounds, just like we're about to see, just straight into the mineral line, doing as much damage to the probes as possible. Great probe pull. It does look like the Zerglings are going to get into the main base, though, and the army is just going to have to chase. So many probes going down. Oh my gosh. This Zergling run-by is doing some crazy damage here. Finally, the Zealots and the Stalkers are able to corner them in the main mineral line. The boys are getting pulled. It is going to be able to clean that up, but if we go to the Units Lost tab, looks like 13. I don't know if all of those are probes, but plenty of losses for the Protoss. That was an amazing run-by, and it looks like Samco is just going to spend the next little while building back up that economy that... man, those Zerglings, they are brutal. That bought KingWut plenty of time to build up a roach force, though. Well defended, well set up for heading into the mid-game. Secret third base going down for the Zerg, and the more normal third base location going down for the Protoss right now. Creep starting to spread across the map. For those of you who might not be aware, all this purple stuff is the Zerg creep. It grants vision as well as a speed boost to any Zerg units on top of it. But the most important factor is it acts as an early warning. As soon as a Protoss force starts to come across the map and steps onto this gray paste, the Zerg's going to know exactly where they are and exactly where they need to be to stop them. Fourth base also going down for the Zerg, off in these more hidden locations. This is a pretty cool way to play, because after that initial damage, the Protoss is going to be feeling like, man, I really need to get something done. He's going to move out across the map like this. It does look like he's kind of split up and out of position, but that's a great surround. He's able to get some Zealots on top of these roaches. More Zealots here to take out the Zerglings. And now that the Zerglings are gone, these roaches, great transfuses by this queen, holy cow. And the roaches on creep are able to regenerate very quickly. Blue is forced to come back, but he did finally take out the Zerglings that were remaining after that first battle. But wow, 5 Mutalisks out. And I don't think Protoss is going to be able to see this coming until until they're already on top of the probe line. Once again, KingWut being so not annoying. Well, if you're Protoss, yeah, this is really annoying. But he's just got all of the harassment tactics down pat. Send a Zerg into your middle line. Send 5 Mutalisks around into your middle line to try and... It does look like that might have been a misclick bringing the probes in, but meanwhile, as these Mutalisks are pulling the army, the focus of the attention, into the back of the main base, this main army is slamming into the undefended third base of this Protoss. Void Rays trying to come in and save the day, but does get caught by these Mutalisks, and the third base nexus is unfortunately going to go down for the Protoss. He might have enough to clean this up. Those Zealots are going to chew through those Zerglings and Roaches, but an additional pack of Zerglings comes in from behind. You don't want the Zerglings to get on top of those Stalkers. They will start to chew through them very quickly. Meanwhile, the Mutalisks swooping back and forth do take down more and more of these probes, and while the Mutalisks are going to finally be taken care of for the most part, I think that's just so much damage that the Zerg has been able to do, pulling the attention, pulling the army backward and forward and splitting it and taking out just units by units. If we look at the Units Lost tab, we can see that Zerg has been ridiculously efficient losing only half of the amount of resources that the Protoss has. And right now, being really sneaky and tricky, these roaches, when they burrow, basically become invisible. So they are just waiting for the army to get far enough away that they can't respond. Blue is being forced to move out across the map just to do anything, do something, do any amount of damage to try and get back into this game. The Stalkers are going to make their way all the way across the map. And to be fair, the roaches are having to pull back just to defend, but man, these are so many Zerglings. I think these hidden bases have really just allowed KingWut to explode in the army supply. And with this final move out across the map, I think Blue's done a great job of defending so far, but it's just too much. I don't think that there's anything that he'll be able to do to answer. Well, he might be able to take out these Mutalisks, but this is an army that I would be afraid to go up against, even at the easiest of times. But Blue has just been kind of acting on fumes for the last 3 or 4 minutes after so much economic damage, both from that early Zerg run by, then the Mutalisk harass, and just the relentless wave of Zerg as KingWut takes a decisive game number 1. Moving into game number 2 of this best of 3, KingWut, which last game he was playing Zerg. This game he will be playing Terran. I respect the random choice. It does require a little bit more mental flexibility for sure to jump between races in each game, but it also gives you an air of mystery. Your opponent doesn't really know what they're there to expect, and especially in a best of 3 like this, sometimes those mind games are worth every cost to the advantage that they might give you. Spawning here in the bottom left, we have the orange Terran of KingWut. Spawning up in the top right, we have once again the blue Protoss of Samco. Both players very, very good game last game. The ability of the Zerg units to just be so fast and be everywhere on the map eventually just made it so hard for Samco to put out every fire that KingWut was just constantly lighting in every corner of the map. But I'm very excited to see what Samco's answer is to this. It does look like a fast forge coming down, not forge first, but a fast forge after gateway. It does look like gearing up for a more defensive type of play style here. Nexus going down at a... Oh, very quick. Hold on. He cut probes. Interesting. I wonder if this is a planned build or just something off the top, like off the rip. He's just trying to get this Nexus out fast, but also be able to defend it. I wonder if this is a planned thing or an improvised thing. Either way, it does look like something is changing in Samco. He's evolving. We're seeing it in real time. Command center is going down for our Terran player, and I do think if we look at Samco's vision, he does know that he's playing against a Terran player. So he does have that going for him. Early Reaper. Looks like he's got another one queued on the way. Is it going to be sent out? Yep. Early. Third assimilator going down. All 4 assimilators. This is interesting. Sam is getting gas, and he's getting it fast. This Reaper's going to come in and see this immediately, however. And it doesn't look like there is a Zealot popping out right now, but I am worried because there is no Cybernetics core, and hence there is no Stalker, and hence there is no really good way to deal with this Reaper. He is going to be able to get some free kills. This Zealot trying to get to where this guy is going to be, but Reapers are just a little bit too fast if microed right. And KingWut seems to be fairly confident with his Reaper micro, as we can see right here. Another probe goes down. This Reaper has 4 kills, and the Zealot is just... he's getting his cardio in for sure. Another Reaper. They are going to team up, and they are going to start to be able to take out these Zealots. Samco, once again, is just trying to do anything that he can against this, but man, Zealots against Reapers is not a fun fight if you're the Protoss. He's doing a great job of being reactive, keeping his probes alive. Oh, these Zealots. Oh, that was a move command. Oh, KingWut's attention lapses just for a second, and that Reaper does go down. These guys hit hard, but they are paper thin if you get a surround like this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This third Zealot too. Okay, I do think this is going to be enough. Samco is going to be able to finally, for the first time in like 4 minutes and 30 seconds of this game, relax. He's earned it. So many probes going down, but he was constantly making them back. It does look like the supply count's relatively even. Great stabilization. Throws down some cannons. Make sure that that won't happen again. Let's take a look at the Terran side for the first time in a long time. It looks like pretty standard. It does look like we have a tech lab on the starport. Could be some sneaky Banshee play. Could be some early Raven. That'd be interesting. I think it's probably Banshee or... oh, there it is. Fusion Core. We're going to see some battle cruisers coming out of this starport very shortly. Well, they're going to start very shortly, and then like 5 minutes later, the first battle cruiser's finally going to arrive. Because it's one of the longest units, or the training time for the battle cruiser is like probably the longest in the game. I don't know that for sure, but I would not be surprised. Let's take a look at what the Protoss is up to. Sticking with Zealots for now, but the Cybernetic core is finally out. Twilight Council being thrown down immediately after that. This probe has been sent to watch for Reapers. That's really lucky. No, he moves the probe just as the Reapers arrive. Very unlucky. But it does look like the Reapers are just hanging out for now. These are probably more as like scouts than actual attackers. And even if they were meant to do some attacking, there are far too many cannons for them to be able to do anything other than kind of harass this gas line. Oh, I spoke too soon. If all of the probes get pulled, these Reapers will be able to kill all of the probes, but they're going to be chased into the cannon. That's going to be it. 500 IQ. I love it. All right. Looking amazing. 2 SCVs headed out across the map. That's interesting. Siege tank moving forward. Marine staying put. Where there is 1 battle cruiser. Alert, we have 1 battle cruiser ready. 2 more get started. And this guy starts to make his way across the map. For any of you watching that might go up against Brayden later, do take note that he likes these hidden, sneaky expansions off in the side of the map. Battlecruiser does make its way into the mineral line. There is 1 stalker. That is not quite enough. Sam's going to send his probes out underneath those cannons. I think that's a great place for them. Unfortunately, there are no cannons here, and the probes do just, unfortunately, tank a lot of battlecruiser shots straight to the face. This one, this is pretty well defended. I would love if these stalkers came up to try and help defend. But it does look like Samco is just biding his time. 2 more battlecruisers show up. That is the last thing that you want to see as this Protoss player. And there is the GG.